guys? This is Gorilla Guy here again, giving you the news for January 5th, 2017. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is that magical computer currency called Bitcoins. They just jumped up to over $1,000 a Bitcoin. And I wanted to talk about them yesterday, but I forgot about it. And actually, today they dropped it down 20% in one day. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Very volatile currency for sure. I wouldn't recommend buying any right now, and it looks like nobody's buying them. Everybody's trying to sell them off since they hit 1,000, and I don't know. I guess people like to see that 4-digit over the 3-digit, right? So people have been selling them off like crazy. I'm thinking in the next few months it's just going to keep dropping again. But if they do go down to $200 or $300 again, definitely a good investment in my opinion. What else we got? Oh yes, the big news story of the last 24 hours or so. The 4 people charged with torturing the poor mentally challenged white guy in Chicago. It was 4 black people, 2 women, 2 men that kidnapped him, tortured him, and oddly enough decided to live stream it over Facebook. Like, I don't know, I guess they just wanted to go to jail. Like, of all the stupid, sadistic fucking things to do, like, yeah, it's a really shitty story. I first saw it last night when I was going to dinner with some friends, and saw it on Reddit, and I was pretty amazed. And the Chicago PD at the time was saying that they weren't going to charge them with a hate crime because it didn't fit the description or something. They've since changed that stance, and they are charging them with hate crimes, which they very well should be. So yeah, it's been the big story of the last 24 hours. Pretty insane. I didn't watch the video. I watched about 30 seconds of it and had enough. Some pretty graphic stuff. It's pretty easy to find though if you want to see it. It's all over the place. So yeah, pretty sad story actually. Yeah, let's talk about something else. Oh, here's one. So the U.S. spy agency has come out and said that next week they are going to announce the motive behind the Russian hacking of the DNC emails, which, as I said yesterday, Julian Assange has denied that it was Russia that leaked them to him. So it should be interesting to see what kind of a motive they come up with here in the next week. They're supposed to be briefing Trump tomorrow on the whole deal. So yeah, it should be interesting to find out what happens and how they can push the anti-Russian narrative even further. That's about all I think of that, really. I think it's kind of bullshit. Democrats, you lost. Whether or not there was Russian hacking or Russian influencing of the election pretty much is like null and void at this point. Like, I don't know what they're trying to prove by doing this now after the fact, especially when there's actually an article out today about Hillary Clinton and her campaign team and how loosely they would like send each other their passwords for their emails and stuff. Like, it was just insane. Like, zero cybersecurity. and now, but afterwards, after they've lost, now it's a huge issue. Like, oh, we've been hacked, blah, blah, blah. Actually, it wasn't even like hacking. It was like somebody, for Podesta anyways, somebody like figured out his email and, well, didn't really have to figure it out. It's pretty easy. And basically asked for like sent like Google an email asking to like reset the password or something, and basically got the password that way. So it's like, to say that it was hacking is kind of a stretch, to be honest. But like Trump said, in his tweet or whatever. Any 14-year-old could have hacked his email. So, yeah, make of it what you will, I guess. Some more news from the States. Cruz wants to introduce a bill to limit senator terms to hashtag drain the swamp. Yeah, that's probably a good idea for sure. I don't believe that any politician should hold any office for more than 8 years or so. Like, there's no good reason for it. You could say, oh, you know, if they're really good at their job, blah, 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 maybe we should keep them. But how often does that happen compared to having these shitty politicians that only think about themselves and their future and not the people that they represent? It happens very rarely that you get a great leader that you want to keep for more than, you know, 8 years or 2 terms or whatever you want to call it. It's very rare, and in comparison, you know, how many politicians do you get that only think of themselves, take bribes, you know, are under investigation? Yeah, definitely a good idea, and hopefully for the states that happens. That's about all I can think of. There's a video trending about some Saudi women. Some Saudi women made this video about them going skateboarding and like doing all this stuff that they're typically not really allowed by their male guardians. So it's interesting to see just how a censored state like Saudi Arabia, one that's like so repressive towards women, how it can kind of evolve, I suppose, under the new social media. You know, as technology advances, the repression and oppression of women in states like this is just going to get less and less because they simply can't control it. Like back in the olden days, you could just control them with like physical force, but now that we have computers, we have Twitter, we have cell phones, iPhones, there's not much that they can do about it now. It's just going to get worse and worse for them, which is good for everyone and good for the women that live there. Hopefully they can continue it. I know that they also have tried to introduce a bill there to end male guardianship, but I sort of doubt that that'll ever happen in the next 10 years or so at least. But yeah, that's about it for today for news. I'll be doing another video tomorrow, so if you happen to like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. And we'll talk to you later. Gorilla Guy out.